its own back. Now we're on with this old sink, and we need to put a waste in here. Now the problem is, when you look underneath, it's got an overflow that's going to come into the back of the downpipe. So it would have been done in lead at one stage, which is very amenable, but now it's going to go into a bottle trap. So I need some way of attaching an overflow to the bottle trap. Now we could use one of these plastic fantastics, but when you look at that, your plug hole's going to look something like that, which is a piece of pressed tin, and I want it to look something like that, which is a lump of brass. But there's no way of attaching the waste to something like that, and all the modern ones come slotted for an integral overflow within the basin. So I'm stuck. So what I've got to do is make an adapter so that this can take this type of overflow pipe coming off the back of here, and I'll make it so it slots into like a spigot rather than a push fit spigot, rather than coming into a thread. And yes, we have scoured the internet and we did come up blank. So first things first, my brass plug hole of course doesn't fit in the hole, so I've got to turn that down to a skosh bigger than that. Right, here's my plan. Reduce this diameter slightly so it fits into the basin. Shove a hole in that, thread it so it can thread onto this part. Make a spigot in the side so I can attach the overflow pipe to that, and then thread the outside at the bottom so that I can attach the waste pipe. Right, so we'll mount that plug hole in there, skim off the edge so I don't mark the threads there. I'll just make some jaw protectors. Got a thin piece of brass and a pair of snips. Alright, so quick bit of bending, and this will give a good long contact with the jaws on those threads. So, thickest jaw guards to protect those threads. Get my tool to centre height. That's just an accurate measured piece of bar stock. Yeah, so all I'll do is just have a little fiddle. It's about on centre, so I'll tighten that up. Just gentle. So 30 off from on the dial, 60 off overall diameter. I'm going to take it out and try it. Having said that, I'll take off the edges with a file. That feels pretty clean. Feels pretty clean too. So D14 chuck fitting, snug it, we're on. So we'll just put this roughly in place. So a little clock gauge on there, a lot of fiddling. We're running true. Forwards, that looks pretty good. We'll pop a cutter in there and face this off. Yeah, this is a lever at the far end of your apron, which is the threading gauge. And I think that was just catching and not allowing the cross feeding gauge. So we'll face that off. Getting towards the centre now, put the speed up a bit. That's a nice feature of this lathe, you can change the speed as you go through. Right, let's poke hole in this. Got a decent sized centre drill. Block it off. Pull it out. Put a decent chunk of hunker, stubby. If I've got one. I can feel I'm having to push there a bit. Look at the beams. Foot control for off. I do not want to snap this drill. Land up with it stuck in a hole. So now I'm going to poke a big hole with a big drill. So there you go. Alright. Okay, so this drill's performed the best. Getting plenty of chips out there. So that one there, it's quite a steep angle on the point of that one in comparison to your standard. So this was a bit grabby, but with a steeper angle, this one, much nicer cut. Okay, this drill, steeper angle, gave a better cut. I'm going to stick a decent sized boring bar through the hole now. That's about the extent of where it can be. So we should be on about centre. That's pretty much the end of the hole. We don't want too much stick out, or as little as we can. Yeah, we've got clearance. We're on the bottom. So I've choked everything up as much as I can. Yeah, otherwise all you'll hear when you go to sleep at night is birds tweeting in your ears, which is a nuisance. Alright, so you can see from the amount of dust everywhere, I've poked a big hole. That's my thread that I'm going to be cutting internally. Big boy threading tool. I think that's from RDG Tools, which is pretty good. Right, so I've put the chamfer on the out end, a relief right on the in, using the threading tool. Okay, so the tool's at the depth I want the thread to finish. There's a little bit of relief in there. So with a little bit of fiddling, when we're at full depth, the clock's going to read 0. So it's going to come in, I see the arrow move, poof, I've got to stop. Doesn't give you much chance, but it's the best I've got. I'd like to do it in reverse, but I haven't got a reverse thread tool. And that's all it is. It's the micrometer stop with a threaded appropriate diameter bar coming off it. The machine's doing 88 grabs per minute, 11 threads per inch. Odd threads are every 6, so we're on 6s. 6 times table, boys. Cut threads. Right, I'll jump out when I see that needle move, because you've got to twitch fast on that. If I could cut the thread coming this way, I would every day, but I can't. Alright, so we're sneaking up on it. Alright, we're in. So literally I took another 1,000th, took a brass brush, that's going to tighten on nicely. So we're going to check the plug hole now. Right, so there's my plug hole. Screwed in, good and solid. So just so you can see up close, there's my stop. And as the carriage comes in, it starts to just engage the dial. I see it move, I'm out. And as the carriage is moving, there's my numbers. So as the machine's rotating, I wait for a number to come around, 17. I would hit my lever down on that. Engage, off it goes, disengage. So now I'll tidy this bit up, make it smart and pretty. I'll just change the feed speed. I'm on CY. CY is quite quick, so I'll go to CX. That's the XY. Nice. And what I'll do is I'll chamfer off the end with a little round tool as well. Make it smart. Okay, it is a complete swingle. It's a good solid machine. Because of that, as I'm working, it's just not chattering at all, which is lovely. And a nice finish. The cup of tea's not even wobbling. Again, we're a rigid machine, so it's usually okay. It's just going to go now. There it is. And there's your part. Thread this end now. Okay, so we're turned down to a threading diameter. I'm going to put a little radius on that end so it looks pretty. And then we'll start threading up. It's quite thin, I'll have to go for gentle cuts. So, both tool posts are at the same height. If we're centre height on this one, I can jump over. We are centre height on this one. This tool post set square, never out of square. This time I can thread away from the headstock, which is so much easier. I can put the revs up a bit. Okay, so machine in reverse, we've set to stop. We've got an area for the thread to drop in. We know where our 0 is. It's there. We're going to put a 10th now cut on. Waiting for a multiple of 6. So 18. Okay, after a full-on day, there you go. Threaded on the inside, threaded on the outside. Spigot coming in, but it's no good if it doesn't all fit together. So this will go through the basin. Now we can cut this shorter, to suit. So that's screwed in. Waste pipe from the overflow, good and tight. Now there's a dodgy washer that comes with this, but I'm not going to nip it up. Bottle trap sits on. I'll find a drawing of this. Oh yeah, that was my finger. I'll find a drawing, give some sort of dimensions. In the end, I didn't thread this spigot in. I made it a close fit and I brazed it. That's brazed in. How happy are we? So in the end, that's what we actually made. It would have been handy to have the measurements beforehand, but fiddle it and adapt it to suit what you need. Okay, there you have it. That's the spigot. Just make it look pretty, make the dimensions suit what you've got. Parker sonnet, can't whack that. Alrighty, and there you go. It's on the basin. You're going to twang that into there and make some sort of splodgy join.